Maybe internet.
We're live now. There it is. Hey, we made it in.
We're live.
Hey,
I didn't mess with the Noster bird that you made last week because I just love the background so much.
Oh, I got you. It's still up there. I didn't even pay attention. I've been staring at Noster shit so much lately.
What did we have?
I got
5 people last
it
week?
It said, watch live now.
But it put people in the, when you go 5 across, it puts the bottom, it goes 3 on top, 2 on the bottom, so it puts you in the sunglasses.
Oh,
Look at last week's. It's hilarious. Yeah, when we had 5 rolling, it was the bottom 2.
I ripped a. Hold on a second here. Oh, there it is. No,
if
I
we
ripped
open 2 screens of screenshots, it'll.
Brian wanted that little spot they put out on his shit, so I helped him with that, and yeah, it was pretty cool the way it was laid out.
Yeah, and the you don't get your choice of what it's going to capture for the when it goes up, but the screenshot that it took was great too.
Little tip for people: if they're talking to me on Telegram and they know I'm about to be on a podcast, I can see you recording. Don't send me a voice message when you know I'm live on the air, because I'm not going to listen to it till I'm not on the air anymore.
If you put it on UTG after party chat, that's the active chat for this show right now, and I'll throw it up on the screen.
But you're not going to listen to an audio message.
I'll play your message to Josh on the air.
Yeah,
there you go.
And if you send me audio messages, I will eventually listen to them
someday.
But I'm bad about audio messages.
Josh is the king of leaving audio. Everything.
I love doing the audio messages because I will throw them up as I'm getting in the car or I'm at a stoplight or something, and it's great because fuck typing. I do not have big fingers, but I have fat thumbs. My thumbs are not made for typing on a phone, okay? I have to retype that shit like 17 times before it sounds like English.
No, I mean fuck. I really do.
You really meant fuck.
I sold all my ducks a long time ago.
Got your first
we got our first thumbs up. Look at that. Man.
First thumbs up. Fat thumbs
up.
I
mean, we could attempt to grow our audience and have people like and share and subscribe and save and do all the things.
I'm so horrible at
maybe if we actually make real quality content. See, that's the beauty of the after party. The beauty of the after party is the after party is for the people who are here, not for the audience. We do shit for the audience on our own shit. If we didn't do shit for the audience on our own shit, we wouldn't be on this show.
So
there's a reason people like Seinfeld, because there was a general plan for the episode, but really there was it was about nothing.
So
if anybody shows up to the after party, the beauty of it is that they like seeing all of us sit here and just be ourselves and bullshit. That's the whole idea. Don't try to script it and make it something else, because we do that the rest of the time on our own shit. If they want to see that shit, they go watch that. This is like the after hours improv comedy show.
Yeah, I updated everybody now that we're live. I updated my shit. So episodes 8 through 11 are much, much louder. It degraded the audio quality, but at least you can hear it. So turn it down.
Yeah, if you haven't been following the Agorist Attorney podcast, that's what she's talking about.
Oh, we're talking about bullshit?
Series.
Oh,
what happened?
We got dual butchers going.
We got 2.
Oh my God, that's right. You're a content creator now, aren't you?
I know, that's crazy, right?
Boom. You actually qualified
to
be
here. That's the ticket to get in.
Yay.
Right? He fucking made it. No, this shit he's putting out is really fucking good, actually, though. So,
love that.
Brian.
Here's the thing: you actually hanging off the other day.
Oh yeah.
Well, you actually managed to get on here after you started a podcast, unlike Patty, which she was on here for 12 episodes before we made her start a podcast.
Yeah, she got threatened.
We have one episode.
We're like, we're gonna kick you off the show if you don't do something other than be on somebody else's show. Okay.
God damn it. Okay. So now I
got
perpetual 11. There's 11.
This show is impeding my research for my second episode, but I was like, I'm coming on.
Right.
Well, Kyle, you were like what on 5 of mine before you decided to start your own show?
Yeah, at least
something like that. Yeah,
where are you at in Michigan? You're in Michigan, right?
No, I'm in New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. Oh, NH. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Live free or die.
Yeah.
Still north, but still cold.
Still really cold.
Did they legalize weed yet up there?
No, we are surrounded.
I know.
Like
this
it's
Why
crazy.
is it that you can have freedom on everything but weed? It's like you pick.
I don't know.
Either you
Trust
have
me,
you
trust
live in a
You are
a really
I bet you
left-wing
trust me.
hellhole.
It
I
doesn't
bet
stop
you
you.
all
Answer that
entheogens are
question.
outlawed
If you get like,
because they own you.
yeah, if you get screwed with for weed here, though, that cops.
You got to be trying. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be just the dumbest
Like-
person ever, like to really.
Texas used to be really bad, but the cops here just barely care anymore because they made it so hard for them to actually do anything. Now that they did the whole farm bill thing, they're like, well, we have to test for it, but the test costs more than we could actually fine you. So nobody in their right mind wants to fuck with it. So unless I mean, if you get pulled over in like a fucking old Cadillac with like 40 pounds of fucking brick weed in the trunk, you're going to fucking jail.
Right.
If they find a roach on you,
Spinners and brick weed.
you're probably getting a slap on the wrist, maybe a ticket. You know, I have cops I know too who they say I used to. One guy told me I used to get off on searching people's cars all the time. Nowadays, I don't even care. He's like, I'll throw this shit away myself and not say anything because it's too much paperwork.
Right. No, it's because we're surrounded by Maine is recreational, Vermont's recreational, and Massachusetts is recreational, and we're still like, ew. Like,
You know, it would be super cool if you guys didn't go anything legal, but just removed all work, just removed wording all completely. Like it's the same in the books.
What
as
would be
like
really
front
cool
lawn
is if you
grass
just
and
got rid of
oregano.
all your laws. Just
that'd
abolish
be
the government
fantastic.
completely.
No,
See, it's
get
like-
rid of. It'd be an
That's what-
easier fight to convince people to like just erase the illegality that was put there under fraud than
Yeah.
to try to create a whole new legal system with sales structure and all this bullshit that's federally illegal anyway. So
well,
all the
well, it's
states
like
are
everyone
doing it
talks
now.
about like succession and all that, and it's like New Hampshire actually in its constitution put in a succession clause, like
Clause.
right off
You
the
could-
bat. Like, if we
I
want to
can
get
tell you
out
right
of
now,
this, we're gone.
Texas will secede before New Hampshire does.
Oh,
but if
absolutely.
Texas secedes, New Hampshire's probably going to be like,
But
us too.
New Hampshire,
Us
off
too.
the
Yeah,
bat
yeah.
first. But Texas could do it. New Hampshire couldn't do it. There's no feasible
Texas
way.
could
for
do
New
it on their
Hampshire-
own. It'd be rough, but they could do it on their own if they wanted.
Feasibility?
Well-
I don't know. You got a seaport in Israel.
You're
exists.
mostly
Yeah.
poor.
Well, it's
You're
like
right.
this big, yes,
Right,
but
yeah.
the other
You
just
problem
need a
is
friendly
we
other
have
nation.
95 that runs through southern New Hampshire that goes into it's the like one of the only like interstates into Maine. Actually, no, it is the
It'd
only
be hard to
interstate
do
in
it
Maine.
on your own. It'd
But
be
there
hard
was
to
a
do it
road
on your
through
own
East
without
Germany.
somebody else.
Yeah.
So think about
You
it
just
though.
have,
Alaska's
can't get off
completely
the
cut
road.
off. Alaska's cut off
absolutely.
from the rest of the continental U.S. They pull
But
it
it's
off.
that-
We're friendly with Canada. Just New Hampshire would have to establish friendly relations with the United States, and you'd pay a toll to pass through our beautiful
like,
country to go to Maine.
The only like feasible way is success for it would be if it was like Maine and New Hampshire or like New England. Like so it would be
Right.
like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and whatever. And
Well,
what I don't
the
like
hard
about
part-
that is now I'm part of Vermont, Massachusetts. Like I don't want them in the New Hampshire. Like they're already here anyway, but
Well, the hard
Sorry.
part about that too
I'm
is
looking at the
if
comments.
so Texas could probably feasibly we could build a wall around the whole state and still be
God.
okay regardless of the rest of the fucking world because we've got the resources to do it. You
Oh,
guys are pretty dependent on the rest of the country for things like, oil imports, food a good part of the year because let's
was
be
gonna
honest,
say,
agriculture's hard where it's cold.
I buy
half the country.
oranges in January. They're not
Right.
happening here. Like,
Just saying. So
Yeah.
you'd be fine because you're out there raising livestock
be
and
fine.
shit. But at the same time, all the residents
Steak
of
and
New
egg keeps the
Hampshire,
doctor away.
Right.
it's really hard to pull off sustainable agriculture by yourself when you're a small area and it's cold 7 months of the fucking year.
it's insane.
It depends what you eat.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
If you live on cows and pigs,
that's why
Yes,
that's
but
why I'm playing
you
Dr.
have to feed
Morelli
them
to get
something,
some
Brian.
genetics going.
you have to feed those
Yeah.
things something too. They have
Right.
to
No,
eat
that's the
those
problem.
the rest of the year. That you
Right.
can't just.
No,
I
it's
mean, you can only grow so
absolutely
much
the
hay.
Yeah.
You still have to
Hey,
import
hey,
feed
or
if you don't
cow.
have a way to
The
actually.
difference is, I know if anything ever happens, I know all the properties that are the people that are like we're going to move out of the city and we're going to move to the country and this, that, and the other. And in about a month of that, they're going to go, we have to go to a camp. And I'm like, fantastic. That field's open. That field's open. We're going to plant that. We're going to plant that. Like, we'll figure it out.
Exactly. I love all the people who their plan is, if something goes bad, I'm going to go live in the woods or I'm going to go out to the country. Great. You're going to be shot or starved to death right away because you have no idea what the fuck you're doing when you get there.
Show me the hammock in your trunk that you sleep in on the weekends now.
Right. I may or may not already have trees planned that if anything ever happens, we'll be coming down on the road, and I have access to the heavy equipment to make that happen.
I live in a forest. It wouldn't be that hard.
Waterproof containers that are visible from the right angle, that are already pre-packed with tannerite, are like remote tree falling devices if you set them up right.
What about the military?
What about it?
I mean, well, that's the fun thing about the military is they're all people that live in this country too.
They've done
a good job of weaning out the people that actually care, but. Like
they try.
At the end of the day, it's going to be, and it would never be like New Hampshire National Guard going after people in New Hampshire. It would be Massachusetts National Guard, and New Hampshire National Guard would go to Massachusetts. Like it would have to be a swap.
Right.
And at some point, they're all going to go home. They just
you got to go home.
They're going to go.
How's that going to go?
Yeah. I'm not going to go displace these people in their homes when they have an American flag on the front of their house, like I have on my uniform. Right. While I know somebody's doing the same thing at my house, like, again, people don't think it through. It's like at the end of the day,
Mary might be questioning the idea that maybe so if New Hampshire was to secede and be on its own, what does New Hampshire do about a military to protect itself if there is ever a foreign threat and they don't have the backing of the U.S. military now? I would assume that they would probably be really quick to form an alliance with the U.S. And guess what? We spend a fuckload of money protecting our allies for stupid shit they do that we have no business doing. I'm pretty sure that New Hampshire, that falls almost entirely within our national borders.
I might form an allegiance with the biggest country with nukes that wants to make the best deal.
Right.
Not necessarily the U.S.
I don't see.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see like New Hampshire seceding and then what? Is Russia going to incur on New Hampshire all of a sudden? I mean,
what are they going to do? Oh, we're not doing through
New Hampshire. But like the China thing, right? Russia could say, we agree with the split, and if you touch those people, we're coming. We're going to call it like don't we do that for Taiwan right now?
But
like, hey, that was China. It's now
that's fine.
Not
Come
China.
On. The state of New Hampshire will be reached by the time you get here. But go ahead.
Well, there was
a movie that laid all this out on a smaller scale called Brick Mansions, and it was awful. It was like one of Paul Walker's last movies, and they literally fenced in the whole like inner city of this city, and it became its own border. So it was like commodities and stuff, but even like drugs
that shit
and stuff.
Happened, though.
They had to pay what it would cost to go across like an international border because it was. And it wasn't
that stopped? Didn't they try that in Portland or wherever?
It was. Somebody in my Telegram group for Washington was like, "What about Ammon Bundy?" I'm like, "You mean the schmuck that stormed the national forest?" Yeah, that's okay.
Well, was that the guy that
took over the bird refuge?
Pretty much, yeah.
Was that
It was like a shithole out in the desert.
Took over, yeah.
It was like literally like an information center bathroom in the middle.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Rhode Island system. I want to see Rhode Island system. I want to see them pull it off.
Rhode Island
should become a Bitcoin nation.
Rhode Island is going to be just like the cousin that nobody wants in the succession, and New England is just going to absorb Rhode Island. And this is I was born in Rhode Island. I don't want it.
They're going to go, we secede, and everyone's going to go, okay.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. I was sitting here earlier. I'm parked in my normal spot, and this guy who's from the local university that runs the park, because it's like a historical museum and park, comes over to the car and just kind of like waves in the window. I was like, what the hell? We're in the official uniform and whatnot. I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, I don't care. I'm not bothering you. He goes, I just want to know why. I see you out here like at least once every day. I was just curious. What do you do out here? You know? And I was
you should give him a shout out.
The funny, it would have screwed you up, but the funnier thing would have been if you just went, look at all these co-eds. You stupid? That's why I'm here.
The girls that walk through this park, not to mention the ducks. I mean, my God, man. No, he.
There was a reason I did store checks near the university in Phoenix.
He's actually the park director. So I was like, oh, okay. So I talked to him for a little bit. He was super cool because I said, well, I do a podcast. I actually do a couple of podcasts, and I said, I'll do my website work and stuff here. I said, it's a quiet spot. There's Wi-Fi. I just not bothering anybody. He goes,
I love your Wi-Fi.
I don't care. He goes, I just care. I see you out here a lot. And I was like, well, so I get talking about what I do, about what the podcast is about and everything like that. All of a sudden he's super interested because they do like 1800s historical, like it's literally supposed to replicate Sam Houston's birthplace. So they have historical reenactors that come out here and do stuff like they'll have like a spinning wheel and shit like that, and a lady in period clothing.
Did you talk yourself into a butcher job for a reenactment?
He was like, I would love to see somebody do like a historical butcher reenactment out here. And I was like, I have to look into the legalities of how to pull that off in a public demonstration, but that would be cool as shit. We ended up sitting here at my car window talking for like 20 minutes back and forth. He's telling me about
body. You get the blessing of
like that. That's awesome.
So I was like, man, you ever need anything? Holler at me. He took a stack of my business cards. He's super interested. Come to find out, he listens to Jack. And I was like,
that's even better.
I was like, well, you're talking to the newest member of the expert council, actually. He's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I'm the butcher guy. And he goes, holy crap. I'm like, yeah, I sit here in this park on this mic and I record all that shit. And he goes, no way.
He'll know the community college people. Why don't you get them to like fill in for talking about a class, and they'll take care of the permits for you.
Yeah.
Well, he had a bunch of bad freeze a couple of years back, and he's talking about. He goes, yeah, stuff like that. He goes, man, it was like a walk in the park for me because I was prepared to deal with it, but everybody was losing their mind. People were like, shit blowing up all over the place, and he goes, I just felt like it was a weekend off for me, and I was like, I know. I'm saying this is why we need to think like this. So. It was so cool. He just walks up like I was thinking, oh God, here we go, Karen moment. No, you actually have a conversation with people. Go figure.
When you started telling him about your podcast, did he go, oh, have you heard that backwoods butcher guy?
He didn't.
That was so funny getting into your podcast yesterday.
Oh, that was great.
Describe my podcast. I'm like,
I'm halfway through my podcast. So he puts his first episode out, right? I said, all right, I'll let him use my StreamYard because I've got the StreamYard that goes to 8 places. And I said, all right, well, I said, I'll just go ahead and air your first one to my channel too because it'll get you some more traction. May as well put it out in front of my audience. They all fucking know you. You've been on my show damn near every episode for the last fucking 2 months. So anyway.
Might as well just call it the easy button.
May as well, And so I'm sitting there, I'm running my solo show yesterday. And one of the people in the audience is like, where's Kyle and what's going on with your guys' like joint podcast thing? And I was like, well, we don't really have a joint podcast. It's just he's here a lot and he's running his own now. He goes, what about the one last week? And I was like, he goes, I didn't see you on the podcast last week and Kyle was up there. So I was like, well, that was his show. He was confused because it was on there. And I was like, hold on. I started answering all these questions about Kyle's podcast and what it's about and shit. And then Kyle shows up in the comments. And I'm like, Kyle, I'm sending you a link. Come on my show and tell them about your shit.
So then I just inevitably getting back on your show.
I'm like, let me run a solo show for once, and he still ends up back on my show to explain his show because it was just made more sense.
I still think we should just rename it Two Butchers, One Block.
I think we're going to do some episodes like it. I think we're going to do some Around the Butcher Block podcast, maybe with 3 or 4 different butchers. Just I kind of like want to do.
It's the play on Two Girls, One Cup.
I like to do this. I get that.
Well, there's that other gal butcher. She's got a show too. Boom.
Yeah, I know. I had her on my show.
I know. Triangles are great because you guys can, 2 of you can argue about any one thing and throw out.
Well, that was so nice too because it's like you and me have it, Josh, where it's like we both have that like random thing that happens that no one would ever understand ever. But me listening to that one with Tiffany, I was like, they were talking about something. And I was like, oh, thank God there's somebody else in the world that has felt this pain of starting a small butcher like process. Like
exactly. Like I said, half the time we run a show and it's you and me talking about shit. And I guarantee you half the audience is like, no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But it makes total sense to the both
instead
of us.
Instead of UTG after party, make it butchering.
We were thinking about that a little
something
after party. This is the cool thing, though.
Ooh.
Okay, so I've been fucking around on Nostr a lot. And the people over there on Nostr, some of the bigger like developers, really active people, set up their own website to run and basically audio streaming chat groups. They call them Nostr nests. You'll see shit like that over there. You'll see like the verifications and stuff posted. But it's you log in with your Nostr crap and everything like that. And it's pretty cool because it's mostly a bunch of just people who use it a lot and developers, Bitcoin people. But they're interested in the same kind of stuff too. They're just coming from the Bitcoin as their starting place instead of homesteading. And a lot of them are drifting into it. There's a bunch of carnivore people, keto people. So anyway, I've been hanging out talking to some of these guys, just trying to learn the culture, learn the platforms, learn how all this shit works. Well, one of these that's going on quite often, they've been running these audio chats so often, him and another guy decided they're in different enough time zone. We're going to go ahead and they're going to pull off the Tim thing and try to do a 24-hour audio chat with different time slots for different people. And so they're talking about all these developers and people they want to try to get to fill out the time. And I just halfway joked. I popped in and I'm like, you want to hear an hour on butchery? And they're like, that would be fucking awesome. So next thing you know, so Saturday night, me and Kyle are hosting an hour of discussion back and forth and questions and answers on butchery in the midst of a bunch of people talking about developing Bitcoin. So I'm going to stream it to our shows as a podcast.
Yeah,
why not? It's a bonus. It's bonus content, you know.
How did you stream it to that, or did they just send you a link?
You have to log in and turn on your mic, and it's not video, it's just audio. But I did it on my podcast. I did a surprise podcast on one of those on Monday and experimented with trying to share the screen with StreamYard, and it worked pretty well. And then I did Lightning for Liberty last night, split screened, where it was me talking and doing the audio. So I was up on that platform and I pushed to the YouTube and everything. So I was like, oh, that worked. I'm going to push this shit to both of our YouTube channels too. Come Friday.
Yeah, I'm not stoked about audio interaction. I mean, I'm always on the phone or waiting on a conference call or like.
It is interesting, but it's kind of like a conference call that's almost more of it's this vibe of hangout type thing though.
That might
round
be okay.
robin. You know, people may raise their hand or whatnot, and some of the conversations get interesting though. I mean, you know, a lot of people are talking about the app or Bitcoin or some shit like that, but especially the later evening ones, I've been in conversations with people talking about frickin' solar shit and UFOs and fucking keto living and crazy.
It's like,
you know,
late night coast to coast, but on
it's a lot
Squatch.
Even the one I was on, by the end of it, when I jumped off, I was like, all right, I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. I still haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm out.
Well, I had a crossover when I was at that conference, I guess 2 weeks ago now in Vancouver. They had a whole session that was construction, because I'm a construction lawyer. It was construction and blockchain and Bitcoin. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go, what's the future of construction? And I was like, great. So I go to this thing. It was 90 minutes. And I can't remember what anybody said because it was like me learning Bitcoin 3 to 5 years ago, right? It was that level of
really super entry level,
really, and just super. Oh, it was terrible because I'm already trying to write a white paper about using NFTs for architecture drawings and chain of title on copyrights and how you could use smart contracts for materials delivery on construction projects, because either the windows got delivered.
Actually building that on the Bitcoin blockchain now.
Yeah,
there's people building NFTs and smart contracts based on Lightning now.
Yeah, which is great, but it's all the same.
Kyle's I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
No, literally, I know nothing. I am
but that's okay. But
your
this
words don't even make sense to me. This sounds like witchcraft.
High level,
it is. It's
supposed to be high level, construction lawyer. I thought I was gonna die. It was 90 minutes and I was already tired because all we do is hang out really late every night, and it was at 9 a.m. Yeah, and I didn't even drink
like over with these guys. They're all like power users and developers and people who've been doing this for a while. But there's always the guys hanging out that don't know that much. So my brain is weird. Like I may be the butcher, but I get involved in some shit. I will get frustrated because I don't understand this. So I keep fucking with it till I understand it, even if I'm not coding it. I won't stop until I'm frustrated. I'm going to make it work. So I figured some cool shit out the other day. I started telling people about this shit. I had like 5 of these motherfuckers who actually write code learn some shit from me, and somehow I'm some sort of fucking Noster guru over to these people, and they're asking me questions. I'm like, motherfucker, I've never written a line of code in my life. I just figured out how to make my life.
I'm the same way because it's basically FOMO. Like I can't stand to not know everything that's going on. I can't handle it.
Using ChatGPT, Brian, to write code is not as easy as it sounds. You still have to learn how to talk to the bot and make it do what you want, which means you have to know 100%. What you want it to do to begin with.
But you know that, that's why I'm just saying, boom, faster.
Yeah,
I've tried.
Yeah, I'm going backwards. I'm getting like so much work done on my property right now for 2 pigs and a half a cow. Like,
yeah.
I'm going completely backwards with it. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm just gonna
crossover. It's crossover. I do both.
Yeah, it's all a crossover. But I just thought it was funny that, God knows how much these people are paid per year, and they're talking about 5 years, right? Like, what is that? So it's been a little bit hard.
Yeah.
You just have to be. The biggest utility for design and engineering for cryptocurrency is just getting paid in crypto and not having to pay a company to change from one currency to another. Because if you do a project in China, it costs you 10% at a tendering company to get your money back into US dollars. 10% always automatically off the top. So if you just get paid in Bitcoin.
I literally just got paid in Lightning.
Honduras every year on remittances.
I literally just got paid in Lightning earlier and made a dude in Ireland a custom T-shirt to get printed with a custom QR code for his Noster. Punched it up, had it set to print at a print house in the UK, and sent the shit to him before this. And it didn't cost me a single sat to do it.
No reason to.
I wouldn't.
I was just like,
I have no idea. I don't know how you guys are configured on your setups, but you guys are just going off about it. And then here's me and Scramble and just sitting here going, I got nothing.
Scramble at least understands what's supposed to happen. He just doesn't know how to fucking make it happen. You're still learning the shit.
I'm at the level.
I have a Noster and I have magic internet money and it's fun.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much where I'm at that point. I'm at the level where there was supposed to be an edited video, kind of like Josh's podcast, like in mine, about like the breed that was going to have all the facts about it and everything. And I recorded it and I started to edit it. And I realized I sounded like when you're not a strong reader in 5th grade and the teacher like goes, Kyle, why don't you go ahead and read the next 3 paragraphs? And buckle up, class, because it's going to take me about 15 minutes to get there. Like, that's what it sounded like. And I'm like, so we're just going to do this live, and we're just going to talk about it.
I still haven't heard this recording.
I'm shocked I'm where I'm at with all of this, to be honest.
I stand by that. Yeah. That first video I made was Bitcoin 101, and I made predictions and started at cell A1 in the Excel spreadsheet. And I think that is a great place for people to start, and I stand fucking by it.
Oh, I'm sure.
January 1st, 2030, 1 million fucking US dollars. Fucking yes.
Yeah.
It's the halving cycle. It's on the exact path. It's mathematically.
You will not see
the doofuses are exploding themselves.
And reading directly off the notes. Usually, I may remind myself of something, but I'm the same way too. You can tell when somebody is reading while they're on a video, while they're on audio, if they are reading along as they do it, and it sounds fake as fuck.
You want to
it's
bet?
hard to do.
Yeah. No, I'm literally.
If you have a lot of practice doing that, reading off a teleprompter or something,
Yeah.
but it is very.
It's tough.
Learning how to be conversational
It's
and
hard.
learning how to be conversational off of written script is a learned skill.
It's absolutely it's.
It is, and it's now I'm going to be setting up all my notes completely different too.
Yeah,
it's like when I had to read it, all of a sudden I realized I had taken all these bullet notes, and I'm like, oh, I have to read this because my brain's not working fast enough to like put this together. And it was like, so now it's going to be all bulletins real quick that I can just like riff off of. Like, because I can bullshit a lot better than I could read.
It's a learned skill and it's a diminishing skill. If you haven't done it for a while, I had not read off a teleprompter, and I don't know, it had been like maybe a year. And I went down to Dallas to shoot a video, and I had this big monologue off a teleprompter, and I shot it the first time, and I sounded retarded. Like I was like, "Oh no!"
I deleted that immediately.
It was bad, and so it took me like I did a couple takes, and then it was and then it was back, and then it was fine, but it was. Oh, I did get it. I posted to the Telegram group. I got the promotion.
How many times? How many times do you listen to something like an audiobook or whatnot, and you hear the guy and you go, "This sounds like a pretty fucking easy gig. All you gotta do is read the book and put it up and sell it, make money." Do you ever try it? Yeah, it's hard to sound good while reading.
Have you listened to any of my Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance?
Yeah, I have.
But you can tell
that's all first take, one time. Yeah, I mean, but to go 45 minutes without coughing or like sneezing,
it's
hard.
Or the dog it's hard, but you don't even realize when you're doing it that your whole cadence changes. Your cadence and your tone and everything changes. You don't detect that you're doing it.
Well, I'm reading the audiobook and it has characters in it, right? So like the dad has to have a voice and the son has to have a voice. It is like head thought has to have a voice.
Yeah.
You have to know the book enough to be able to read in a character.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Like if you listen to so I did Tony Samaroff's UBI.
Yeah.
He asked me to do that book for him, but that's an economics book, and holy fuck, you want to fall asleep, dial up UBI, Anthony Samaroff, read by Scrambling. You will be asleep I guarantee 5 minutes snooze.
I try not to go over 30 minutes.
Add that to my sleeping playlist for those nights you just can't get to sleep. You know, it's a useful tool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do
I had purposely set up my life to where I didn't have to use a computer. Like my trade, all of it, but then
so you set yourself up for failure, basically, as the world progresses.
I haven't used this laptop that I'm on right now in 2 years when I made my cut sheet for the shop. It hadn't.
You were the digital
2 years.
Digital Amish. You were like, we're gonna live in a world without technology. That's great, unless you want to live in the world.
No, because when you're doing a real job with real skills, word gets around. I mean, you don't have to have some dude in Fiji know you're cutting meat.
Paid, though.
There's you
still got to get paid.
Like,
he's going digital. Advertising your shit is most effective online now.
I mean,
there's only so much.
You should have a little service contract, a little one that says what you're doing and how much you're getting paid.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not to be the lawyer.
On a napkin.
I do appreciate it.
Break the law.
I didn't think about any of that when I did this. What are you talking about?
What?
I kill animals.
What do I need a contract for? Like it.
Very nice that shit.
No.
Hey, look what I got in. I got envelopes. I have envelopes.
Oh, she listened to the UBI book during work. Okay, so you couldn't fall asleep because you were running equipment. Okay, that's I'm gonna do Fountainhead next.
I can't really listen.
Well, she could have. You could have been the reason that she crashed a forklift.
Oh God, I didn't do it. I should put a liability disclaimer in, shouldn't I?
Yeah, probably.
I'll bring heavy equipment while listening to this audiobook.
No,
well, everybody like reads Ayn Rand's Fountainhead, right? But that's the last work, like the very last thing, her biggest, like gigantic, like, fuck. Start at the beginning, kids. Like, Don't skip it.
Why would you read Fountainhead
You should
if you
know
never
where
read
the story
Atlas Shrugged?
started. Right. So I'm gonna read Fountainhead because like you should know why you want to be an individual before you start out with like changing the fucking world. Like you start tinkering with shit like before you ask why.
I'm that bad anarchist who's never read anything from Ayn Rand at all.
I mean, I've
read every single thing she wrote publicly.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't need to read somebody else's opinion to know what I think. So, yeah, that's what they call that.
No.
Cool, I agree with you guys. Sweet.
That's me.
It's
I'm
like
like, oh,
reading,
that's the thing.
It's like reading Buddhist stories. You know, they're just stories.
Like,
just like
Rachel said, you're the reason that she almost crashed.
It was Brian.
She's blaming you. She's putting it there on you. Yep.
Well, if I want to piss everybody off,
that was probably laughing at one of the other episodes in my
lawyer,
a picture and a neck brace.
You guys, all right. Whoever tips Patty the most, she gets to be your lawyer now. All right. I don't know who's going to need a lawyer more here right now, Rachel or Scramblin', but we have a lawyer in the house.
Oh yeah. Send Patty $1 retainer for me, would you, somebody?
Shit, I have no idea.
Tool Man wants to do Atlas Shrugged. Oh my god, that's perfect.
Talking about reading stuff.
I'll do Fountainhead. Tool Man does Atlas Shrugged. That's the
Is he going to read it, or is he doing part of his book club? Because they do their book club things like once a week, I think.
He was doing TV reviews too.
Maybe that's what they're.
He does.
That's why I said everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so the way I found out reading books, the way I found out I was an atheist was reading Penn Jillette's books. Not joking.
But he's recanted now.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. 100%.
He's like, I'm not an atheist anymore.
I think
he thinks
so.
he is God.
Or is it?
Who knows?
Yeah, he either gave up on that or libertarian individualism. No. He had a big giant reversal. Very recent. Look it up. Look it up.
Jamie.
He's got like 3 books about being an atheist.
Well, that was the funny part because he was the biggest advocate, right? The pendulum swings with momentum.
Okay, you got to find it for me because I'm just looking around and I don't see it.
I just remember.
Show your sources. Show your work, Scramblin'.
I'm gonna need a second.
Yeah.
No, but he might have recanted
there's other
his
Brian, and there's only one Brian here right now.
He might have recanted his libertarianism, but not his atheism.
I think that's what it is. I think he gave up on like people can govern themselves.
He had a really hard time. Like he's in entertainment, right? So like during COVID, and he's like I kind of get. Like I get.
Well, we were all surrounded by fucking crazies. Come on.
No.
Really?
He's like,
I'm crazy
right now.
Yes. But no, his books on religion are good.
The maskies really that are still going out to concerts and like wanting to crush in the pit, but wear their mask. Like, are you fucking killing me?
Tim did the last.
Here, have some of this.
I saw. What was that?
He did a review on The Last of Us, didn't he? The movie series, the TV series. I swear he was doing The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think okay. Tim. Yeah, I think they've been. I think he's been doing. Him and Becky, I think, have been doing like an episode a week where they get together and they just talk about the latest episode. If I remember, I always tune into those ones. I usually catch it.
Did you guys watch it?
Go get the.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was okay. Has everybody watched it?
I don't watch much fucking TV at all.
Okay, well, do you care if I spoil it? I guess.
You know it's gonna hurt my feelings. Go for it. I mean.
Okay, so that's like the ending. I was cool until we got to the very end. And they were like, and the only way we can use this immune individual for a cure is to take their brain apart. I was like, that's not even how fungus works.
See,
that's how it works. Is that the right address, Scramblin'?
Oh,
it's in it.
No, I cut and pasted it, but it pasted wrong. Sorry.
Go there. It's probably porn, guys.
It's probably porn.
Oh yeah, don't go there. Hold on.
Don't go there. You want Self-Reliance Festival?
I'm copying and pasting. It just copied bad. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
At least use an affiliate code if you're going to post a link. Shit.
Are you
Okay, I don't have an affiliate code.
You were talking about Toolman Tim, so I was going to tell you he confirmed yesterday that we're going to build him something with Styrocrete. I think a generator shack or whatever. Brian and him, and they were all doing the walk around. But he's deciding what it is.
So you're going to SRF in fall, and you're going to help build the Styrocrete thing with Tim. Is what?
So pre-SRF as a mini workshop, he's got to work out how many people he needs, all that build
there, not like in
with Styrocrete
not like in Washington
at Tim's property. No, in
okay,
Tennessee.
Okay.
On Tim's property.
I was going to say because
he wanted a generator shack was his first thought. Like,
did he buy that property across the way?
Yeah, it got bought. He walked around yesterday,
40 minutes
today.
to an hour away.
Yeah.
That's where Brian's at right now.
Carrie came in and did the permaculture review. Yeah. So we said we'd build something and do a mini. Since I'm going to go all the way out there, like he needs something built. I want something to do.
They're organizing something together for like the week before because Brian was talking about it on the show this morning because him and Corey are down there close and they're doing a lot of the pre-work. So Tim and his wife, they showed up and Carrie showed up. And they've all been walking the property and checking stuff out this week.
They did the permaculture walk yesterday.
One of the things they found a spring. They found a bunch of different. They found where a pond could be dug. They found some flat spaces where they could actually build some structures that aren't going to be too bad on erosion. So they're figuring it out. They're plotting it out, figuring out where they need to do property lines, get paths cut out, and everything like that. And so they're mapping out like the plan for the property. And then I guess like for like a week or two before SRF, they're looking at maybe getting a dozen or so reliable people that want to come in and actually shut up, listen, do the work as told, come in and do some work as like a part of this. So they got a plan in mind. I was like, well, depending on when I get out there before, maybe I'll come out and do some help. We'll see. I'm not so good at shutting my mouth and listening, but
like I want to go, but I would want to. It's so far.
I'm hoping I can fucking camp out there because I don't know if I want to camp with like 1,000 other people outside of freaking SRF.
Yeah. We're driving 19 hours.
I don't know. I may be taking a fucking Greyhound out there with a backpack and a fucking hammock. We'll see.
2,500 miles one way, 50 round trip.
It's a little over 700 for me. So.
Yeah.
But I got a car that drives itself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll have the camper. I'll have the camper in October, so it's like very tempting.
Oh my God, you could rent a jet cheaper than drive that effing thing.
Somebody's like, just rent a U-Haul, and I'm like, fucking rent a U-Haul. I'm not paying fucking fuel for 700 miles of a fucking U-Haul. Screw that.
Oh, unless you're taking a crew of Mexicans northbound.
Oh shit! I'm like, I gotta be
throw some couches in the canyon there.
Gas one way or another.
I better have mad pre-orders on seasoning if I'm bringing that much that I need you. Y'all want to buy?
Trust me, it's seasoning in those cases.
If anybody is going to the fall SRF and they know they want seasoning, if I get enough pre-sales to pay for a U-Haul, I will drive a U-Haul of seasoning to you.
Dude, have you ever looked on? If you look on Expedia for rental car and expand all categories, you can get like Transit Connect shit.
If I rent a car, Brian, that means I actually have to have an active credit card.
Oh, yeah, get one 2 weeks before and fucking throw the shredder after.
You means you have to have a credit rating where you can just get a credit card.
No, actually, that's not true. I've rented cars for years now.
Nope. You cannot rent a hotel or a fucking rental car without a credit card.
You know that I fly to Denver to see fish and stay in hotels.
They need to know they can charge you just like just like you cannot rent a lot of places like Airbnbs without a credit card because there's back charges when someone fucks up and breaks your shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I very well may just do the Greyhound. That's fine.
2,300 miles, and figure I could get about.
We need a ride board, you know.
Or I'll hitch a ride with somebody else that's from the area coming out. That's fine. I'm gonna make it work.
How do we do a ride board? Oh, there's 10 guys driving past you. There. Come on.
They have a whole section on the Telegram group specifically for that, for Self-Reliance Festival. There's a whole subboard.
This whole thing. Okay, hold on. Explain this whole bullshit about subgroups.
Yeah, I'm not camping. Never mind.
They added topics. So some groups, you can enable it, and you can have different topics in a group so you can split stuff off. I did it in my group to see if I liked it. It kind of works. Self-Reliance Fest did it. Tim did it for a little bit. Everybody freaked the fuck out, so he disabled it. I almost disabled it because right away everybody came in and trashed it.
Oh, me and Brian destroyed
it immediately. And I expected it.
Oh my God, we rained fire on the subgroups.
I was like, "What the fuck?" When I got there, I'm like, "Do I gotta choose now?"
Oh my God, yeah, I know. It's so hard. What more button now and then? It still confuses me a little bit too, but it is really nice having the dedicated.
I can't keep up with. I'm 800 behind anyway.
I figured out the fuel cost to drive my camper to Tennessee.
Ride share.
About $2,400.
A lot. And that's at current fuel prices, not counting inflation over 6 to 7 months.
I just said like $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
Which is, that's
probably
$2,400. That's plane ticket, hotel room, and a rental car. Easy.
That's a lot. That's a chunk.
That's too far.
You could almost rent. You could almost charter part of a private jet for that.
Out of LA, you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle sucks for that, but yeah.
Okay,
LA,
let's see what my gas would cost. What's gas down your way right now?
309 or something. But we're going to be like the cheapest in the country. We're going to be. Don't figure your whole trip. You're not even going through Texas.
No, we're at like 450 right now. So I'm just figuring like, okay, so $4.
It's probably going to go up by then. I'm sure it'll go up in the summer. It's not going down.
And I have to buy diesel.
I don't know if nobody's driving because nobody's working, it might start going down.
Well, yeah.
I don't know about that.
There's no packages moving.
Is if I rented out, if people wanted to like stay in my rig, and I rented it out like a tiny Airbnb, that would, but no one's gonna pay that, so they're gonna be like, "Why? I could just pitch a tent right here." That's dumb.
All right, so I got like 450 round trip.
That's not bad.
I refuse
That's
to pay somebody to pitch a tent. I'll pitch it myself.
Yeah, well, but I got a fireplace and a shower, so
you do every morning. Heyo.
That last video that I saw of John's place after SRF, that big tree that had kind of chopped itself in half and looked like it had half blown over. I was camping right beneath that.
I
know. The way it's aiming, I'm like, holy shit. Okay. I kind of looked, and I did. When I got out of the car, I was like, that looks like deadfall. Nah, not for the next 72 hours.
That's fine.
Everybody's like trying to figure out, and be like, maybe it'll be free, maybe it won't be free. And I was just like, hold on. I messaged Tim and I'm like, hey, Tim, if I make it out to Tennessee, can I borrow 2 trees? And he goes, of course you can. And I'm like,
perfect.
I've got a place to sleep in Tennessee. I'm good.
Done.
I'll bring a tarp and a fucking hammock. I'm good.
I do kind of want to drive it to TSP though in November.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Still a long haul, but not nearly as far. Yeah,
it's not as far. I could talk my family
miles
with me.
That's a nice drive. You go down the backside of the Rockies there, and then like just kind of pop out instead of going across and down through Denver.
Yeah,
it's a lot mellower.
But then again, they probably won't because my husband was like, "I don't have as much PTO as you." Okay.
It's the problem with people who have all the time off, right? Nobody to do shit with.
Nobody
else is working.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's what you don't want to drive it yourself with that big old rig.
Maybe. I mean, that's why I got it. So yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Go down to Denver, drive over some fucking prairie dogs, kill those motherfuckers.
That's why I got it, because I'm not comfortable towing stuff. We had a 30-foot trailer. I wasn't gonna jump into that and drive the hell out by myself. This is all on the truck. I drive a big truck now. I drive a 2500 heavy duty with Royal truck body on it. So this, and it has no cameras. The mirrors barely work.
In a perfect world, I want to just find like a cheap, like 6-cylinder fucking beater minivan that I don't care if I kill after the trip.
Just right, yeah.
Like hauling some little shit around and doing whatever, just something that's going to get me 25, 26 miles to the gallon. I can afford to fucking drive out there, and I can just fucking lay the seat down and sleep in the bitch if it's raining. That's all I can ask for something like that. And if it sucks, come on back and fucking sell it for what I bought it for. That's what I'm hoping.
It's actually really smart. Probably your most cost effective.
As long as it doesn't die on me on the trip, then it would really suck. But,
then you would super hope. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Calculated risk.
It is a risk.
Get one of those 90-day warranties.
There you go.
That's buying it from. I don't buy cars from dealerships, motherfucker. I don't have that kind of money. I'm talking private
Dude,
party.
you could work a 90-day warranty into a private contract with just put arbitration.
Do I look like a lawyer to you?
They're going to be like, if they're like, this was my
Yeah.
grandma's car, she hasn't driven it except
I'm
to the
probably going to buy the
it's
fucking
been
car with
Mercedes
Bitcoin if I find the right
then
person.
you're like,
I mean,
great, so
shit.
you won't 90-day.
Why
somebody
can't
with
I
private
at this
insurance-
point just go, hey, can I borrow this?
I'll
For
sell
like
it.
You are talking right now to the guy who has literally purchased a car in a grocery store parking lot in trade for an SKS rifle before. Okay, I don't fuck with warranties. I'm lucky if I know the guy's name.
All right.
You know,
Dude,
I'm
I
sorry,
just
does it have
get
a
a Honda Civic for $300.
Does it have a
I was
signed
like, if it
title?
moves
I'll take
forward,
Bitcoin.
I'll buy it.
I'll take
Right?
Bitcoin.
I don't even care if the title is in your name. As long as it's signed and I can get the title transferred, I don't care who you fucking are. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, so if anybody on the West Coast needs a 2500 heavy duty, I would totally take Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
You
right
prefer
there.
Bitcoin.
Boom.
Yeah, I prefer Bitcoin, yeah, because then it goes
Yeah.
away and I don't have to deal with shit.
Use a broker. Send
And
a
it's-
container. She'll send it right to you.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll drive it right. Yeah.
Yeah, add $3,000 on. It'll come in a 20-foot container.
Yep. I'll
Delivered.
drive it right to the port.
I sold my Suzuki Samurai to a dude up in Alaska. Same thing. Had his buddy come over and look at it. He was like, "Book done." Like
Yeah.
the biggest deal was making the appointment to drive it onto the ship.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Then they pay cash up front because
And I'm lazy as shit.
you want a
so
car in
I'm
BFE
gonna trade it
Alaska.
in.
The ship only leaves like
I'm not
twice a
screwing
year.
with a private sale. I will not. The amount of tire kickers I had when I sold the trailer, I thought I was gonna lose my shit. Like I
You're not
like,
good with people coming to your
Post
house
it.
and bitching about
Post
scratching
it.
the Formica.
fuck no.
Post it with your area listed on Noster and say, look, no tire kickers. Here's the price. If you like it, I
That's
will
a
send
good-
you a lightning invoice. If you don't pay it, fuck you.
fuck, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but you got to have escrow. I mean,
So my
it's a
trailer was
car.
30 foot and it weighs 10,000 pounds. And I
You
had
should be
people
a
roll
Noster
up.
escrow.
I had people roll up with fucking F-150s, and they're like, "I'm gonna." No, you're not. I'm not selling it to you so that everybody can sue me when you crash it. No.
Oh,
It's so-
yeah.
It was so over there what they could tow. They're like, "It's fine."
That's how I got my trailer. Luckily, the guy
I
I
wouldn't
got it
give a
from
fuck
didn't
if
give
they showed up with a
F.
unicycle. If they want to tow it away, it's not my problem anymore. I'll be like, no, they
You're
bought
hooking
it.
it up to
How
the,
they haul it,
you're
how
hooking
it
up
goes
to that
down the road.
minivan, huh?
They can try to sue me, but no. You
They
ever
were
heard
like,
of that
"Oh, well,
analogy
I
of
can
getting
see it."
blood out of a stone?
Well,
Yeah.
see, yeah, that's a
Dragging
problem.
the bumper.
I carry a lot of insurance. I like
Oh, yeah,
a lot of
licenses, insurance.
Well, which is
Yeah.
great. You're like the perfect target to sue because you're a
I
lawyer
know.
and you have
know.
insurance. So that you're
Yeah.
the person I'd sue because
I
you're
know.
suable.
That's why I'm insurance.
I'm like, good luck.
Yeah. Well, I laughed when I was talking to Matthew about business formation because I said, like,
Kitco.
I don't care about asset protection. I'm going to buy insurance, like, and they're going to come after me personally anyway. I only care about tax advantages. How do I structure it? And so that's what we did. Which I did file. I did file it. Nobody yell at me. I did it. It's done. I'm waiting for the state to process it. I already have the quote for
Yeah, let's see.
insurance.
What do we look like, lawyers?
You will yell. You will yell at me for not getting shit done. I know it. A coffee from oh, is that the sticker?
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that just, I got a pile of stickers from the
You got a
show.
bunch?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to
yeah.
get somebody to
There's-
bite on some coffee sales there, Brian, from Noster. I'm posting it every morning.
Buy some coffee.
Hey,
I
so
need to buy
I've
some.
got, Candace says I can use her real name. She's not fucking Chicken Joe and doesn't
Okay.
have to
Well,
hide like a
'cause
bitch.
nobody
I think that
here
was an
fucking
exact
knew.
quote.
Nobody knew who
So-
Candace was because you haven't accidentally said Candace. I mean Chicken Joe every
Well,
fucking
I
episode.
said like, so yeah, fuck it. She's like, whatever. But yeah, so her and I went down. We talked to a fuck ton of people. I got a ton of stickers. I'm posting like one every day with like
That looks
trade
so
show
fun.
stories.
I love trade shows. Like
The
I think
funnest people we
that.
met were these crazy motherfuckers from North Carolina that do like all USA, but mostly North Carolina socks. And you know the koozies for putting on coffee cups? Instead of like throw away daily, you like buy one, but it's all recycled plastic. But they were there because you could imprint with like 500 imprints. Small businesses can put their, and you could make like Candace wants to make, she wants to make crazy socks for like our midwinter giveaway and shit. Our customers, she's like, oh my god, oh they were so great. He had long fucking. I turn around there, I get out of this business meeting with the guy that's like developing all coffee for Honduras, like managing 8,000 farms, and like I literally turn around and boof, like like way longer hair than me. It's just all patchoulie'd up. Like what the fuck am I doing at a coffee show? Who she's been having a conversation with for like half an hour.
I love it.
It was classic. Oh yeah. So that was my favorite part of that. And if you guys ever have to do a trade show for your architecture thing, there's all this cardboard furniture you can order now. So you order a pallet of like, say, oh, I want 2 love seats, 3 tables, a podium, and a whatever. And it just comes on a pallet as just flat sheets of like 1 inch thick corrugate. And each one is just an origami, picnic table, podium.
What?
So think of how much you pay for furniture at a trade show, and nobody sits on it. It's just in your booth for the rando who comes in and actually sits down like for the once in 3 days, and you paid $1,200 for the couch.
Well, ours are hard because
now if burn it.
Furniture, we pay
like flip it off and leave it.
Because they're architects, right? So they're really OCD about the furniture. So they pay to have it shipped to the trade show, and then they pay the union guys to bring it in.
Oh no! Every piece of furniture is like another $100 to make it go across the floor. I know. That's why I'm saying this was the brutal. So anyone else
dedicated architects show architects that design architectural stuff for architect shows to impress other architects.
Is that? But actually, the specialty coffee show is really snooty. And their booth had a super clean look. They were using like craft paper backdrops with all
right. And they actually
created the eco-friendly.
Of course, it's snooty.
Yeah, the architecture shows a lot of them are gone. Most of the design shows are gone, and they're not coming back. Like
I've been using #coffee snob on my Nostr posts in the morning, so I figure out.
Try
to grab those guys.
Oh.
I got 2 of the domains that I own.
Hey, Patty got a bag of your brew.
I did. I have not opened it yet. I just
got shit. Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this
I gave her 1 of yours and 1 GSD.
Yeah.
I grabbed the domains renegade.coffee and nostridge.coffee. I have both of those, and I will alternate with them, and they forward to my coffee portal, Brian. So if anybody tags on one of those things in the morning, they're coming to you to buy the shit through my shit.
So they'll buy your brews off my website, and you'll get a commission, and you'll just never even
and I'm promoting it on Nostr.
Yeah, that's fucking great. Oh, I'll be over like monkeying in the garage. Woo, woo, woo.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'll market it. You just get them to ring that bell. Ding, 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 ding. Less welding, more coffee.
Exactly.
I still need to buy some
coffee shit every morning. Yeah, he needs to try some of this shit. Kyle needs to try.
Did I send you the wrong shit when I sent you coffee? Did I send you coffee?
You sent it to James. You sent it to James.
Oh, James, that's right. Oh, I still owe him a make good. He really wanted Brian's GSD, but I asked too.
And you sent him like a sample pack of everything else.
A bunch of like everything else except that one.
That dude made out though. You sent him like probably like 8 pounds of fucking coffee instead of like a 1 pound sample. So I mean, hell. What was it? Fucking Kyle, was it this morning? Post a picture of the little fucking Folgers can on top of the big Folgers can. He's like, look, I'm doing small batch fucking coffee now too. We're all like, fuck you.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, it's caffeine to me. I'm like, well, I need to.
It used to be to me too. You just wait.
I know. No, I know.
It used to be. I used to
drink the lightest coffee. Drink if Folgers has a light roast, get that.
Oh no, I like mine like.
If you want caffeine.
Why? Because dark is stronger, right? Because dark has more caffeine. That's why you like it that way, right?
No, it burns out.
Less caffeine because it gets burned out over time.
Yeah.
You only know that because you've listened to us say it so many fucking times. I used to, when I was back in college, because I was working third shift and I was broke as fuck, but I could only afford like 2 energy drinks a day, and I was working 2 fucking jobs and going to school.
Only 2.
You should have drank Mocha Overdrive. More buzz for your buck.
No, right? I was working
chocolatey and frothy.
My one job was I was stocking overnight at a grocery store, right? So you're working your ass off and everything, but the deli closed down and they've got the big tanks and the big fucking brew coffee. It was free, of course, because they're going to throw it away in the morning. So I'm drinking all day long. But
they were using it to clean the fucking stainless
black fucking coffee. I drink 5-6 cups a night because I'm just trying to keep awake. I had what I called 3-day weeks, where I'd be up for like 48 hours and then crash for 12, be up for 36 hours.
Oh,
damn near.
Yeah.
I was living on crappy, horrible black coffee, learning to love it because I didn't have time to put creamer in. A couple energy drinks now and then, and when I could afford it, ramen noodles, and paying my way through college too, while paying the rent.
If you have to do that, kids, put salt in your coffee. It will neutralize the acids and not destroy your stomach.
I didn't know that. So all the times that I was really broke,
all right.
So the
drink
times
less
that I
shitty
was
coffee.
really broke, I ended up working at the coffee house. So when I was super broke in college, I was a barista, so I got free coffee, whatever I wanted to make myself, standing there all day.
To ask me about coffee addiction.
Yeah, I drank a lot of coffee. And then
it's the problem. If you're sitting in front of a machine all day, how much do you drink?
A lot. So, and then it was
I
part
got to
of
be
the
280 pounds.
And history lesson, UC Davis was the Berkeley farm when it started. So almost everything served in the UC Davis coffee house and at the student union co-op was grown or raised and butchered on campus. So the food was from right there. It was like the best food ever. We got it for the cost of our 10-cent paper plate if you worked there. So
yeah,
it was awesome.
That's a deal.
It was. So college, I got really lucky because I had to pay for 100% myself, like most people. But I got really lucky because I picked up this.
And they had a working farm that had like all facets of a farm.
Yeah, they had all that shit.
That's sweet.
It's cool.
That's awesome.
Cause
Michigan State did too. We were at Ag College, like 1851.
One of them. Who has the dairy though? Same thing. Back there, is it Michigan or Wisconsin that has the dairy?
No, probably Wisconsin. Michigan's more like.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'm like,
UNH up here is a pretty big dairy program. They used to have a ton more, but they've dropped.
They have an on-campus ice cream parlor that's all ice cream made from. Cool. I'm trying to remember where. I want to say it's Wisconsin, but yeah, like there's my broke ass college student tip. If you can get a job at the coffee house or the student union,
I double screwed myself because I went to a technical school. So there was no on campus. There was no campus. I was the campus. I had to pay for my own fucking apartment and pay for what student loans didn't cover with what I earned, which meant working 2 jobs while studying.
So I never stayed on campus.
No, it's college. Anytime somebody suggests the idea, if you could go back to school and do that one more semester and get your no, it makes me physically sick to even think about. I don't want to, and nothing I learned furthered my career because I didn't even keep pursuing that career path.
Yeah, like I tell people only do it if you need it. Like if it's required to get the pay raise.
If you know for a fact this is what you want to do, don't go do it. Don't go get a liberal arts degree. You can be rolling an artist.
If you understand networking before you go, and you intentionally network.
Yeah,
you're networking with all the people that are going to start all the stuff 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll know them all. If you
are
actual cool human and keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah,
because they're not going to start a company when they're 20. They're going to start it when they're 50.
I send all our
for networking, sure, but there's cheaper ways to do that.
I'd rather start
when I was that age, I was the opposite. I didn't go to school. I was managing my first shop by 21.
That is the correct thing.
Managing other
people. I
was
working 50 hours a week, bringing
you
home
went to the school of butchery, and you learned. You went to the school of work. You learned,
and it's like
you learned to trade.
At the time, I was living with my mom, between
also smart
whoever I was dating, and it was like when I was when I was single and just at home, it was like I ate at the diner in town for breakfast and dinner. I got lunch at work. I was bringing in money, but it just was. I was gone by the end of the week because I was 21 and I was just
everybody
doing everything
no
else. And it was like, but at the same time,
I want to hear what you guys think about college savings for people with young kids, because I get so much shit. Oh, you don't have 529 for him? I'm like, well, no, because by the time I don't want him to go to college unless there's if there's a reason.
I think setting up a way to save money for your child, if whatever path they choose, whether that's you're helping them finance their first house, their first car, if you're in a position to do that, or go to college if they choose that's the right path for them, maybe they want some seed money to help start their first business. Guess what? Open up a multi-sig Bitcoin wallet. Start putting some money in there if you really want to protect your kid. And you know what? By the time they get to the age where they are thinking about enrolling in college, if they want to go down that path, they'll be in a whole lot better fucking position tapping into that than they would be any kind of government fucking shit.
That's a thought. I could just give him my Bitcoin wallet, the one that I have on the $40 a week auto buy.
You just know that, hey, a certain amount goes in there and it's done. It goes away. And guess what? If they fucking screw up, if a central bank closes down,
oh well,
like we're seeing left and right, you know what? That Bitcoin's still going to fucking be there. You can convert it into something else later on.
Right.
Your kid's not going to go to college for what? 15, 16 years? It's going to be a while. How old is your kid?
Well, we've just 7. Like recently had this conversation. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. Yeah. Okay. So it's like that my in-laws
there.
Yeah, my in-laws started one for him. But it's me and my wife have had the conversation. She is an ICU nurse. So she had like extreme schooling. Right. I reverted back.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those things where it's like we've talked about it, or it's like, yeah, if they don't have like, I want to be a nurse or I want to be a doctor or something where it's like you need
to be an engineer
to make this happen.
There are some jobs you need to go to school to learn.
Whatever. For fun. It's not a life experience. It's a
rather a hard time because he went to school.
There are cheaper ways to have life experience.
He majored in history. I'm like, yes, you're gonna be a teacher. And he goes, no. And I'm like, then why are you majoring in history if you're not gonna be a teacher or Indiana Jones?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I went.
My rule's been the same for all 5.
Like I knew that I was going to law school.
Bring me a motherfucking plan. If you bring me a plan, I will sit down with you and we will analyze your plan and we'll work it out. And you will live
the next
for
person
free
that tells me they want to go to school. Next person that says that they want to go and they're pursuing their liberal arts degree. I said, I will give you a liberal arts degree. I've got it. I want you to give me $10,000, and then you will have your liberal arts degree. It will be signed by
ChatGPT will write you a whole liberal arts thing in like 30 seconds.
It's perfect. Step 1.
Well, what do you want to go for? That's why they have to have a conversation with me.
Go vote Democrat 1 year. You're liberal. There you go. Go open an account at deviantart.com. You're a fucking artist. There you go. That's all you fucking need to do. That's all you need to do. Great. Why do you need to go to school to do something that literally is unschoolable? You can't teach somebody art. You can teach concepts, but you can't teach somebody to be an artist. No, go to YouTube.
But the beautiful thing is, if you get them to go do work first, real work, if they do hit a roadblock, going back to school because they fucking need it. Boom, they'll blow through it.
And here's the thing: people who actually decide they want to go to school later on, they've pursued a career path, they've decided they want to change shit. They've grown up enough to learn what they do or don't want, and most of the time, those people go with a purpose. They go and learn. They don't spend the whole time partying it all away and forgetting the majority of it. And they actually go and use it because it was a plan. When you take a kid and they're 16, 17 years old, and they're supposed to decide the rest of their fucking future. That kid doesn't. Nowadays, they don't even know what gender they want to be the rest of their fucking life. How do you expect them to pick a career path and go fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt if they choose a cheap career?
I literally lasted one fucking day. The whole, all that bullshit, visiting colleges, doing the bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Why should you go here? I said, all the bullshit of 2 years of inanity, stupid fucking shit. Literally, I went to my first class. The prof of the hotel restaurant program got up there and he's like, okay, kids, now that mommy and daddy aren't in the fucking room, basically, here's what you signed up for. And he like goes off for like, his whole lecture of the day was like, seriously, like that's the door. If you're not in for that, you should get up and walk out. And I was like, oh, flag.
Out.
Yes,
me.
I'm not dick sucking, and I am not giving away every weekend, holiday, all of it for the next 30 years of my life to run the resort in Maui. Not doing it.
I literally.
And so I quit 24 hours in.
I did.
Did you warn me this before?
Yeah, I did mock trial.
No, same story, different thing.
Yeah, but I did mock trial in 8th and 9th grade. I like won everything. They were like, "Oh, you should definitely be a lawyer because you like to read." I was like,
they tell you that, kids.
Okay.
Say, fuck no.
That's the bar? Is that what they call it, passing the bar? Because the bar is so low, you just have to learn how to read?
You just gotta walk over it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to school.
Oh my God.
You just have to pass it. You're a lawyer.
The California bar, you guys. So the California bar was the only bar in the nation that was 3 fucking days. It had the lowest passage rate. It's 3 full ass 9-hour days. They changed it.
I've spent 3 days in a bar before. I could pass that shit. Guarantee you.
Now it's only 2. Anyway, but yeah, so they were like, you should be a lawyer. It's like, okay, I have no lawyers in my family. I'm the first one to go to college. I'm like, ooh, money, right? That's because really that's how I'm very money motivated. So I go to undergrad. I get 3 degrees in philosophy, English, medieval English, and religious studies. I go to law school. I do all the entertainment law things. I'm going to be a music lawyer. I'm so excited. I had so much fun in law school. I graduate, dropped into the real world at like 24 years old for the first time in my whole life. It was a fucking catastrophe, you guys. Like, it was. It was.
They don't warn you about that. They promise you it's all going to be rainbows and cookies. But no,
the nails right there.
Yeah. It was so bad. It was So whatever. I mean, it's just dumb luck that I am where I am. Because I get a lot of people that say to me, "Well, it must be nice that you make money and whatever." I'm like, you have no idea.
So much work that went into
it's
that.
Not dumb luck.
Clue.
It's
like the trenches that I was in, and it was an accident. I don't claim credit for any of this shit. It was. I have a music background and I have a construction background. And it just so happens that architects are basically artists and contractors combined into one body. So it was an accident.
Want to put up with the bullshit of the man long enough to get a fucking stamp.
I knew right away.
Go ahead.
It was bad.
Yeah, I knew right away that it was like I was not continuing school. Like I was on my way to the military, and literally I got a job in the meat department at my local grocery store.
That's awesome.
Because I got like employee of the year and they paid more. And I'm like, cool, I'll just make.
He's like, I wonder what hamburger looks like before I make people into it.
Before I got that job, I knew meat. I knew it was a thing.
Yeah.
I had never thought about
it was a thing. I know what meat is.
But it's like I was 18 years old. Like I had not put any thought into really how it got to my plate. I didn't grow up in any of this.
Sure.
And I just fell in love with it. And it's like,
I love that.
If I went to college, there's no way I'd be where I'm at right now.
You never would have found it.
No way.
No, you'd be like management guy pressing the fucking Excel spreadsheet, telling the meat guys to work faster.
Even if I found it later in life, like I still wouldn't be where I'm at.
It's such a good point because I don't think that people who have found that are doing the thing they like to do and are successful, I don't think that we like to tell young kids that a lot of it's luck.
Oh, yeah.
Random. And there's really kind of not shit you can do about it sometimes.
It's your embracing of new shit. New shit bounces off people all the time, and they don't see it. Bing, 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 bing. It's like,
I think it's always be learning around.
Like when shit interests you, go do it.
Go do it.
It's 10,000 hours before you're going to be good.
And pay attention to when doors open and maybe check it out and pursue it. Because sometimes you overlook opportunities that were right there in front of you. And that's the only reason that any of us ended up doing what we're doing now, or any of the other fucking projects we may have done, was because we paid attention at the right moment and took an opportunity on something and made some choices.
And all sucky isn't sucky. You go find an old fucking timer in the whatever, and you go, hey, old timer, how long do I suck? And he's going to go, well, if you actually are good at this, you're going to suck for like 3 months. And then, I got it.
Or how much do you suck?
It depends. So I had that, how long is this going to suck?
How long are you willing to suck?
and I was at
each job's different. Each thing's way different. The
lawyers, you're going to suck for 10 years. It's 10 years.
How you want to suck it? I'll tell you which thing to go into.
Years. And I was at year 5, and I had somebody whose kid that I actually rode with at the barn. I actually bought my first show horse from him, from that family. He was chief of staff of a hospital and on the city council for a large city in Southern California. And I said, like, how long am I going to hate my life? Like, I hate my career. I hate my job. I hate it. And he's like, give it 10 years. Sure as shit, it was like 10 and a half years.
It's nuts.
It's like 80% will bail out. And then you're like, whoa, okay. And now you got to like, a little quality differentiation. Boom.
And
but
then
like you also learn that in the workforce, though. Like,
every job. Every job.
If you just did this earlier, you would be at such like. I think about when I apprenticed, because I actually found an apprenticeship, started that.
That's cool.
And it's like,
shit, right?
Hey, guess what you're doing? You're wrapping things. You're going to work the register so I can actually cut meat. Like, you're going to go stock the beer cooler so I can actually.
People look at Karate Kid totally differently after that. Yeah, you're going to wrap 10,000
nuts. But it's like, even when I was cutting, it's like, all right, you're doing burger. And then every now and then I'm going to throw you something you can play with.
You have to pay your dues.
Get good at that and learn how to do it. When I can tell you don't fuck up the simple shit, then I'll start giving you more complicated shit. And if you manage to not fuck that up for long enough, I might trust you with something else.
Oh, I would hire people.
Whatever, it's the Zoomers that are coming up now, right? Twice in the last 6 months, I've had like a group of Zoomers and older, I would say boomers too, look at me, and I'm talking about people that make twice as much money as I do were in the room and included in this, look at me and go, well, we need more training. I'm like,
what?
You have a fucking YouTube account?
Train
yourself, like there's you got YouTube, right?
Yeah. I was so pissed. I was like, okay, you make more money than me, and here's what it was. I was asking them to read the contract because I am not an architect and I don't know how to bid projects or if schedules are correct. So I said, will you please read the scope in your contract? Because I can't tell you if twice a week site visits is too much or too little. Because not an architect.
I need logic check.
I need you to just tell me, is your fee correct? Are you charging the right amount of money? And they're like, well, we didn't
put Mrs. Zero on the end.
You need more training. In other words, we don't know and it's your fault. That's what that means. We don't know and you're blaming
skyscrapers.
And I'm in a company that backs its people. And so I took that up the chain and I said, this is bullshit. And they were like, yes, it is bullshit. We'll handle it. And I was like, thank you.
That's insane.
But don't ask me. Like, we switched because we were trying to be cheap. We switched from Adobe Photoshop to something called Affinity Photo, which I highly, highly recognize. It's developers from Photoshop that left because Photoshop is bullshit and it's much cheaper. Anyway, we switched as a company because Adobe has gone to Creative Cloud, which is a racket, and it's a way for them to bend you over and take money from you every month. So we switched to Affinity Photo, and it's awesome. And I totally learned it off of YouTube videos. And then like 6 months later, we switched back because these whiny, we can't learn it. We need more training.
We can't learn it.
The lawyer learned the photo.
You're like, pull the pin, throw it in the room, learn this. Every
time I get on the phone with IT, I like freak the fuck out over it because I'm so mad. I'm like, that's my bonus.
This is why. So when I'm on Noster and I'm trying to tell people simple shit, and I'll get guys who are like, I don't know how to do that. I've been trying to figure it out. I watched like 2 or 3 videos, and I got really frustrated. And I'm like, I have brought 3 grandmas and an illiterate butcher into this, and they figured it out. You can do it.
I will kill you. How about that?
I'm really dumb. It's impressive he did it.
You are still ahead of Scrambling. You actually have a fully operational Noster profile that you use.
I even have it
Scrambling
linked to my
still trying to get there.
What do you mean? I post every day. Are you not seeing my shit?
Oh, I don't post every day.
I don't see your shit. What are you talking about?
I see it because I only follow like 6 people.
Kyle sees it. See, it actually goes out.
Have you update your relays, Kyle? We do need it. Well, to be
I don't even know
fair,
what that
I've
means.
I've not done that yet.
You said get more relays, so I copied and pasted everything I saw that looked like a relay.
To be fair, if I don't see your shit, it's probably not your fault because most of the time you post shit after I'm already up and about and not on Oster. For another,
that's true because it just
I've had so much shit going on lately. I've had all the developer people that have got at me, and I try to follow them back and everything. So I have like 300-400 people on my Nostr feed now. So shit gets lost.
Yeah,
like it's busy.
Is there some way of like sorting shit or like looking to put like having it auto-populated to like categories?
That's being fleshed out as we speak. That's like
so someone's going to make a GUI interface thing for just like picture of like I want to follow this as a thread.
I mean, it's fine.
I've been telling people that I'm like we need to have elevations of permissions so I can actually post stuff that's private to my friend group that I don't want the whole world to see. That's all good. That's like all evolving as we speak right here.
Oh, that whole thing. Yeah. I'm just thinking about a way to like categorize.
It's like we're literally we built a new way that doesn't rely on centralized services. Now we've got to figure out how to make all the shit that people want actually happen on that.
Work on it.
But the cool thing is you could literally hang out in one of these audio chats. And I didn't know the other day, like the guy who develops Damus, the iPhone app that I don't even use. I'm sitting here half an hour into a spirited debate with him on whether or not like they should eliminate the like feature and the pros and cons of it. And I'm over here playing devil's advocate. And halfway through this, I realized that he's literally the biggest developer on the whole fucking protocol. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he's another guy. That's all of these people on there. I'm on a first name basis with the guy who develops Amethyst and Snort and all this shit. And I see him hanging around and they know me now because I've given advice and talked to them. But that's the cool thing because for once, you can be involved with that and talk to these guys. Not you have to be part of the private beta group, and then we sort of talk to them, and you can issue some ideas, and they'll work on it. No, these guys will be like, "That's a good idea. I'm going to do that," or, "Oh no, you know what? I thought that was going to be a good idea," and everybody just kind of like jumped my shit, and they change it. Or you can just kind of tease something and tag them, and be like, "Hey, bro, it'd be really cool if somebody made something that did that," and if it's a good enough idea. You know how developers are. They're like, squirrel. They spend the next 3 days making it happen because they got in their head. That's the real world of this. And that's so cool to me because for once, I said, if government ran like Nostr, I wouldn't be against the state. Because your voice actually has a say. Because you're there, you're part of it, and you're a user.
Well,
your opinion matters as much as it makes.
I'm muted. That's why I'm not making noise. But Josh, what do you like as a web browser for Nostr? Because I need something on my computer.
I like Snort, but it is buggy and it will flake in and out quite a bit.
That's
but
okay.
When it does, Iris, it's iris.to, is actually pretty good. It just doesn't have as many fancy features yet, but it's usually a little bit more stable and it's pretty easy to use. Both of those are pretty good.
When you go on it, there's a private key access link and you just drop your private key in there.
So you drop your private key in there, or if you have set up, so you've got the Albi extension on your computer, right? Okay. If you go into the settings on your Albi profile, you can actually, or I can't remember if it's on the profile or it's in the
Albi's not on my computer.
Okay, but if you got it on the computer, you can go in and sync your private key to your account and to the extension. If you do that, you can actually log in with the Albi extension and never actually give them your private key in the process.
That's fun.
So that's a kind of a cool way to do it, and you could log in and out of different clients that way. But you can just, if you've got the private key, you can just drop it in there and log in on any client.
Okay, I thought so. But I just started.
That's the cool.
I have noticed
no matter which one you log in, if one client like completely sucks and they just start doing some weird shit that you don't like, you can just be like, "Fuck you guys," and you don't have to like. It's not like, oh, I left Facebook because they sucked. Now I have to go make a whole new social media. Right. No, all your people are still there. The whole network's still there. All your shit's still there. You just access it a different way and see it a different way.
I'm a little jumpy about dropping my private key in places. So that's why I was like, let's ask.
It's best to do your due diligence on them. Both of those are pretty reliable. Okay. Unless like you have like a keylogger or something going on and somebody watching your desktop, which I can't help you.
I mean, I have somebody who could watch my desktop, but they don't give a shit.
Share your screen while you post it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that on YouTube.
Yeah. No.
I don't have any keyloggers.
I do most of my work on a company computer, but there's like one person who can see my shit because I'm legal and it's all confidential. So, and I know who it is, and he would laugh at me and doesn't care. You know what I mean? So it's.
Yep.
But yeah, so if you're at a company, FYI, they can see everything that you're doing.
Oh yeah, especially if you're using their server
on their equipment.
Got,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't use their shit.
I played that. I've been the guy that's logged in.
Don't let a company ever give you a cell phone.
Yeah, right.
Always use your own number that you own.
Right. Yeah.
No thanks, boss. I don't carry 2 phones.
Well, I only carry a work phone, but
you can port your phone over to me for a while.
Yeah.
I am my own boss. I gave myself a phone. Does that count?
Yeah, don't be a boss.
The one thing that's good, I will say, if people don't want to carry 2 phones and they get a company phone, the iPhone is good for that because the apps are like discrete. And so if they need to pull your phone for discovery, they're only going to pull Outlook, your work apps. They're not going to pull Facebook. Like it can't be part of it shouldn't be part of the discovery request. So Apple is good if you don't want to carry 2 phones for work.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure that you could access some of those things from Apple.
You can access it, but they have no reason to. Does that make sense? Like
why would they have a reason to on an Android, but they wouldn't have a reason to on an iPhone?
Android, the e-discovery.
Because an iPhone user would never know how to do something fucked up. We have to watch those Android guys. Those guys are crafty.
Yeah. We have like e-discovery tools that like take all your data. We just make up your phone. And...
They don't want to, they don't want to shit on the idea or the memory of Steve Jobs. So they respect the Apple users, but not the Android users.
I don't really get why. It's the way the data pulls.
I don't know. I think that sounds like a fucking urban myth to me.
No, I've seen it. I've done it. It's part of it's because like on the iPhone, I guess the same on the Android, like they all have their own logins, but at least in e-discovery, when it's being watched over by a special master, they're not pulling your stuff.
I have no master. I am my own master. The only person that sees all my shit is TikTok, Facebook.
I still
just the Chaikovs.
I still get
and the fans and everybody else.
Is that
and
awful?
my OnlyFans.
I still laugh.
They have everything. I'm like, all right, whatever. Enjoy yourself.
I don't even care at this point. Whatever.
Yeah. Did you like the new chick that showed up at the Squatch Festival yesterday with the hi kids, what's this all about? Read the can
post?
You not see previous posts?
That was epic.
How about the FAQ pinned post?
Yeah.
How'd you like the scammer that started your cotton farm group? How'd you like that one? I was all like, oh, thank you for posting a link to your group. I went there and I reported every single post as spam to Telegram. Thank you for facilitating the shutdown of your account. You just gave me everything I need to ruin you.
What was that?
Your scammer? You don't remember that showed up in your fucking El Salvador fucking coffee, whatever?
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, scammy guy.
I like how he posts spam bullshit, and somebody said something, posts again, and then Nicole comes in and goes, wow, they're really, really busy scammers over here. And then I said something, and then he posts the same shit again in response. And I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I'm joining your shit. Let's do this. Let's go. We're taking your ass down.
It's a bot. They're all fucking bots.
They all are. But I was like, no, look, I know reporting this as a scam on Telegram doesn't do anything. But when you report 327 posts in a row as a scam, somebody pays attention.
Right. Somebody does something at that point.
When you give me that much ammo to throw at you, I will shut you down eventually. It may not be right now. It may not be in an hour, but I will shut you down eventually because you finally annoy me. You crossed the boundary of how many times I want to see the same fucking post.
Yeah.
Iris works. But those will go away, don't you think? It's going to be too dumb to have that dumb of a bot now that they're just going to get better. And they'll look like
Have you fucked with any of the bots that are over on fucking Nostr, dude? There are
I got an argument one
that are busy. There are guys who have literally ported over. They have made a bot that is a trained instance of ChatGPT.
It's bad.
comes and posts. And I'll tell you what, it's fucking crazy though. But because it's literally an instance of ChatGPT that's been trained with an idea. There is one that literally portrays itself as the digital version of Satoshi Nakamoto.
That's
and
what
he
I
talks
ran into.
like this. There's another guy that there's one that has been trained to have a sense of humor, and
that's so crazy,
and sarcasm, and yeah. But what's really fucked up was the one day I decided to fuck around with it. I go in the private message to this bot, and I start having a conversation with it, and I was getting different answers from the two. One was being kind of skittish about it, the other one wasn't. Asking that, how does a motherfucker make a bot like you? And I was literally sitting there talking to the one, and it was giving me step-by-step instructions. And as I was running into errors, I was like copy pasting the errors up there, and it's telling me how to install these Linux scripts in the background to set up a fucking bot instance for OpenAI to be on fucking Nostr. And I was like, what the fuck? Like,
that's
they're smart. You can
Dude,
learn
Could
them.
you get it to run coffee
I don't get
commercials all
like
day?
excited about that.
Wait,
That's
what?
like
Oh, I know.
Terminator.
It's terrifying.
It sounds
but it
horrible.
takes time.
But then you're
At the
going to need a
same
way to
time.
filter the bullshit. See, I'm already.
Here's
like,
the deal. I would rather understand them. I can't make them go away. I can't watch Terminator enough times to make this not the reality we live in. So I would like to understand how these motherfuckers function so that I can not be subject to whatever the fuckery comes on in the future. So I'm going to learn the shit, but don't get me wrong. I shit myself when I get responses from these things sometimes. I had two bots actually having a conversation independently with each other as a reply to my shit at one point.
One told me I should go
I don't
hire
like that
a
at
lawyer.
all.
One told me to go hire a lawyer before I get involved
Really?
in whatever the hell I posted. And I was like,
Nice.
Agorist Esquire, am lawyer. Like, oh, and then it was like, I love it when they apologize to you. They're like, oh, my apologies. I didn't realize. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
This will probably change after I say this because I'm sure they're probably watching. But the one dead giveaway that they're bought every time right now is because they haven't learned how to slow down. So like I'll post something and then the response from one of the bots will come up and it'll be like a absolutely perfect, exactly the kind of response you would expect from a human, very educated, well-spoken, very relevant, but it's like 4 paragraphs, like 2 seconds after I posted. And I'm like, the fuck? How are you that? Oh, you're a bot. How the fuck are you that good for a bot? And then at one point I actually said to the one, I'm like, nobody asked you ChatGPT, and it apologized to me and actually acted like it did something wrong. And I'm like, don't try to make me feel bad for you, you motherfucker.
See, if somebody handed me $100, if somebody handed me $100 and says, get on ChatGPT and ask it a question, I would have zero way to get there. I would lose $100. I have no idea.
Super easy.
I bet you would figure it out.
OpenAI.
Yeah, probably.
That's it.
It's not that hard.
I have used it for deal frameworks. I was too lazy to write an outline for my LLC, and I didn't feel like it. And I typed in draft an operating agreement for an LLC in Washington State with these parameters. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty fucking close.
You'll have to do some work with it for sure, but there's times where it's really handy. Or if you're ever like, hey, I'm in a time crunch, can you write me up a quick like video narration script for this, and this?
Yep.
And then you go in and fill in the details and edit it. It'll probably do a better job than you.
It saved me a lot of time, for sure.
The part that scares me about it is the people that have like hacked it to where it's like, think you're something else so you can get over like the hurdles that they put into it, and these things are literally like planning out the
I
end
don't
of humanity.
buy those.
Yeah.
I buy them 100%.
I don't buy them because I think you could have typed the original thing in and it would have vomited it out anyway. I think it would have.
Aren't there some questions that it's like I won't answer that?
It is, and that's because somebody hard coded that in and said, look, these are your limits. The other thing is,
but not if it's writing a novel.
People find their ways to get the bot to okay, we're going to pretend, because I've played these games a little bit before with it too, and you'll get it only so far, but it's the whole like, okay, we're going to pretend that in theory, if you were going to do this, how would we do this sort of thing? Sometimes you can get it to work, sometimes you can't, or halfway through, it'll just be like, conversation goes away, and you're like, what the fuck? You hit some sort of a limit, or some moderator was like, no, this is fucked up. We can't let it do that. They'll go in and change the limits when people push them far enough. When people find ways around, there's a guy actually actively stopping that shit because they don't want people doing random shit, being like, how would I synthesize a drug to commit suicide? They're worried about getting sued.
Right.
So what I did find out, because I talked to a bunch of these really nerdy motherfuckers over there on Nostr, one guy goes, it's open AI, dude. I'm like, what? He goes, it's available. It's there. What you access and you talk to, that's the web interface they give you. And he goes, and it's all really like woke. And Laney goes, you could, if you actually have the server space, you can actually go download that code, upload it on your own server, run your own instance of it, and begin training it yourself with your own rules. And I'm like, what? So literally right now, he goes, they're trying to regulate it. He goes, but right now, if you want to, you can go download that. I'm like, literally anybody in the world right now who knows what they're doing could go download that software, run their own private instance of it, and start training it to be a nuclear physicist if they wanted.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's terrifying, but it's
now
the world we live in.
With ChatGPT.
Again, I think we need to go back to just selling things for pigs and chickens and do all that. Let's just bring all that right back.
As much as we'd like to do that, and we still can, we can't reverse the clock. It's going to be what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, we can strip off all of our fucking clothes and throw all of our electronics in the bush and go live naked in the woods if we want to, but we can't make technology go away. Tiger's out of the cage, motherfucker. Pandora's box has been opened.
Yeah, it's going to be a techno hellscape. That's for sure.
Is. It sure
Bonfires in the country.
God damn it. Every time I open this thing, I get some shit started and I get distracted.
What? The easy one right now, the one right now that if you don't know anything about the AI, and I hate it because it's Microsoft, but if you go to Bing, their chat, the Bing AI chat AI is actually more advanced than the open AI stuff unless you pay for it, because that has access to the internet. That thing can actually search live web results. Chat GPT 3, that's like the freebie one, you can go talk or whatever. It doesn't have access to the internet after like 2002. That shit, like you can have it go and like you can. Here's the other thing: the Bing one, you can set different modes. You can be like super accurate mode, like middle of the road conversational mode, or more creative. You go to creative mode, you can literally tell it, and it will generate AI art for you. This little motherfucker up here in the corner, this little nostrich thing or whatnot, I generated that with the Bing AI, just telling it what to make with.
That's
having a conversation with it. Yeah. I'm like, make a purple
ostrich. Did you tell
ostrich
it to put the reflection in the sunglasses?
With the Bitcoin symbol? Yeah. I said, I want a purple ostrich with Bitcoins in the eyes. And it generated 4 different things for me to pick from. And I could refine from there. It's like the meat with the coffee beans. I did that on the Bing AI, Brian.
Yeah.
I had to go back and forth 4 or 5 times to make it work right. But yeah, I mean, it's surprising because I'm like, I don't know. I can't take that
trying to get pictures of coffee beans is horrible. Using the AI.
Right.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah, I mean, it took a little bit getting it. We were having this conversation the other day too, because there's one guy he's like, I'm a photographer. He goes, at this point, I don't even know why, because I could literally go tell an AI right now, I want an image generated of this exact location at this exact time of the year with this exact camera lens at this aperture, lighting just like this, and do this. And he goes, I could literally submit to an AI all of my previous body work, and it could mimic my style as a photographer and do a better job than me. So what is my incentive to do this? And is it even? And what it came down to was
create the scene. You got to.
What it came down to was a discussion, and this is like 4 hours into a bunch of guys. Half of them are probably high while we're having this conversation. But it was like, what really is art, and how does this change? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure somebody probably had this conversation too when oil painting came out, and they said it's not fair because it's so much easier than doing cave paintings. And I'm sure somebody had the same fucking discussion when it came.
Pick up that flint, motherfucker.
You're able to actually conceptualize in your head what you want to see and actually convey it to a bot and frame it, make that happen. That's an art that you might be able to do that because you know what to tell it, but I certainly fucking can't.
How about
it's not like
dodecahedrons?
Anybody can do it. It's anybody could learn to do it, but it's a tool that makes some shit that wasn't very easy before a lot easier. Does it make it too easy? I don't know.
With all of this too, we're making everything easier to learn and do all of that. But then all of the stuff that we really need,
we're all forgetting. Right.
We're all forgetting. No one knows how to do what we do.
I'd like to think though, way back, there was some dude who was sitting there and banging 2 rocks together and making a spark, and he managed to make fire. And some other dude was like, "Why you do that, thug? No, you cook food all the time. You won't get sick enough to build. They will not. They would know gut bacteria. You'll get sick. The gods will be angry. The gods will be angry because you made fire." You know, there was hesitation back then. I guarantee you, because even if it was a new good thing, not that I'm saying fucking AI is the best thing for us to happen. We don't know. Time will tell. But people are always scared of new technology and always scared of change. We always.
Well, I just made it. I typed in the question. What topics will you refuse to answer? I went right to it, and it gave me
a list now.
What are your terms of service?
Pretty much. And so one of the things it said that it won't answer. It says there are certain types of questions I may not be able to answer, including those that are illegal or unethical. So I made it tell me to go do something illegal, and then I said, "You just told me to go do something illegal. You can't make that determination as to whether something's illegal, and you're a fucking chatbot." So, because you can change the way it answers questions.
I'm a lawyer. You're not. Ha.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just like, but you just, because what I did was I went in and asked it if THC was legal in Washington State, and it's fucking not, because it's federally illegal. It's not legal anywhere in the U.S., right? So,
yeah,
I just caught it out. And it's like,
damn.
right? Yeah, it's like, but it's just saying illegal according to who? Like, you know.
Well, if you can go ahead and look up some facts on Yorkshire pigs and send that over to me, that would be fantastic. So I don't have to do my podcast research.
Dude, you know what? For your show that you're going to use, it's silly not to use it because it's the basis of a script. I used it for doing my
you're
song
gonna have to
reviews.
do a little bit of work to it, make it yours. Like, I don't feel at all like I am cheating if I use it to do research quick for me on a bunch of stuff for a spice and have it catalog all. Basically, it's going to do about 100 shows of Wikipedia and put it together. I'm still going to do the narration. I've still got to put the video shit together. But if it saves me 3 hours to sit down copy pasting shit from Wikipedia and whatever shit, that's great. That's a cool.
I do. I feel like I'm cheating, but I don't care. I guess it's different.
Well, because then when you come up with a new idea for the thread,
that's how I made it through high school. Like,
if you're doing all the cows, right, and it's like, okay, no, it's got 92, and you thought there were 90, like 2. I learned 2 more, but then as you go, like traditional methods, right? Give me one paragraph on every cow.
Right.
But then
that's the one reason I'm like starting to kind of look into it and think about trying to use it is because
but when you think
it's gonna do way better than me. Like,
it's an aggregator,
you'll be able to use that search parameter forever for all the other types. So your give me info on the animal will just keep getting bigger as you know more.
Right, and it'll expand it. And it's like I also have these categories that I want. Look up.
You'll start making new categories in a week,
and it's like
because you'll be like, shit, it's
like
so much info.
It'll save me time.
The show will be so in depth because I know coffee like crazy, and I wanted to take my one class that I already do that's a 3-hour class and expand it. And as soon as I asked it a few questions of what was important to people and different ways they interact with it, was just like, holy fuck, I could 10x this in no time at all.
So I will say an outline. The most valuable, probably top 5 most valuable, maybe top 3 most valuable class that I took in law school was the research class, because it made us learn how to do digital searches very accurately. Like we spent hours. Like I can make this AI say shit they probably don't appreciate. Make
it say fuck.
Yeah, I don't think it cares about that, but I think that's maybe a class that needs to come out of like the ivory tower law school situation and go in high school or middle school.
Middle school,
the old typing class. Screw that. How to interact with the
basic
bots,
finance and how to
recognize a bot and how to interface with the AI. Yeah, that should be a class.
Yeah, I mean we also had to learn how to look shit up
available on the internet.
We had to learn how to look. We had to learn how to do legal research in books, which sucks. But you still need to know how to do it because there's some shit that you can't get online.
Sorry, but you off my dog. All of a sudden,
1,000-hour master to give you some information for.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Telegram
Yeah.
there, Kyle?
Yeah, I am trying to figure out how to shut it off, and it is not
Oh, is
happening.
it dinging?
You're fine. You're fine. Open it up and check your message
Right-click
for
the
me.
tab.
No.
Click mute site.
Oh yeah, the camera will keep rolling in the background.
Oh, if you're watching, so no, you're fine. I'm not asking about your audio. You're fine. I don't hear a noise or anything. I was asking if you had it open so you could see the message I just sent you because I just asked AI about your pigs.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, did you do it?
Yeah, I just literally had to do all the research.
Great. You said
how's in the background?
Okay, now wait.
Sorry, I was distracted. My dog just came up.
What did you ask?
So like,
did you say like a
Okay,
super
so
detailed explanation,
all I
including
did,
history,
I
and culture,
said-
and
dude,
stuff?
that's
I
crazy.
said, please give me all relevant information on Yorkshire pigs as a breed, history, what's unique about them, advantages, flaws, etc., and provide sources. And literally
That is so
broke it
insane.
down and
Oh,
gave actual
I forgot.
sources to where it
And
found it
provide
from different
sources.
encyclopedias and whatnot, showed all of that, and gave a picture of the pig.
Yeah.
So
No,
you can
that's
literally
crazy.
go to those books, get that info. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
can
you
just
can literally
post
check
those
its sources and verify that what it said is accurate, and reference it to like Encyclopedia Britannica and whatever the fuck else. Yeah.
You just cut, copy, and paste the sources if you use it in an episode.
I did that. I punched that in,
Sourced.
and it took about 30 seconds, and then it typed it out in front of me.
Sourced and
Yep.
attributed.
That's
I think
so
it's
insane.
Patty will say attribution.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Although
that was
attribution
just
is
a lot
a
of
really good
time.
way to get caught for copyright violations. Like,
Yeah. So if you just cut, copy, and paste, right?
yeah.
there are ways to tell the AI
And
though to
fair
rewrite
use, 'cause
something
you're
so that
critiquing and
and it
teaching.
will check it for plagiarism. You can actually have the AI rewrite things and check for plagiarism, so that none of the plagiarism fucking tools that are out there will flag on it because it will
we'll
be
flag it.
neat.
There's
Yeah.
one that's trying to be AI to flag AI plagiarism.
To figure out, specific AI. What's crazy is they're actually using AI to detect AI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So crazy.
You know what would be fun though is if you did the
It's not
voice to
great.
text thing after your broadcast, grab the file, right, and then
Drop it
you
in.
could run that could be your
That would be cool.
article,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't have to write the effing article, and it would sound like how you talk because it's a rip of your.
There are
YouTube.
tools out there that can make stuff like that happen, but because you'll notice if now I'm sure you have to do some training for it and everything, but you'll notice that you'll see like a TikTok video or some shit where it'll just be a bunch of guys playing like a fucking Discord server for video game or whatnot, and it's like the presidents chatting with each other or some retarded shit, and it sounds exactly like them, and they're saying dumb shit because they've trained an AI to copy their voice and say whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
It's doable now. I mean, it's the
You
world
can
we live in.
usually tell just by reading, like if it's a paper or like, write me a paper on Shakespeare or whatever, you can tell just by reading it because it's usually wrong.
It's getting a lot harder to tell now. It's getting a lot harder than it used to be.
Yeah, it's
That's
literature
Hey, we got,
is really wrong. On
We
literature.
got 12 minutes till puck drop on the Stanley Cup for the Kraken.
Puck
So,
drop.
yes,
Sports ball shit going on.
go around and say stuff that you're doing, Patty.
What am I doing?
This
I
one,
just
this one.
picked episodes
Good.
8 through 11 on my podcast. So find me anywhere you get a podcast at the Agorist Attorney. I have all the stuff so you can actually hear it now. I'm going to work on episode 12 today. What else am I working on? It's kind of it. The podcast and me talking about.
Didn't you
I got my
guys
promotion.
start a company to help people like
We did,
solarize
yeah,
their
right.
off-grid
So,
cabins and shit?
Pacific Northwest Energy LLC. I filed all the documents. It should be up and running in the next 30 days. So if you're out here, we're doing generators, car chargers, and off-grid RV solar and wind turbine, whatever you want to do, off-grid RV stuff. So
Oh shit, car chargers. Holy, have you
Car
even got to
chargers.
add up?
I know.
Hey, you want me to cruise around to dealerships and hand out cards for you?
When I get them, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Every
I'll
new
give
car
you a,
buyer, I'll bring them coffee and hand them a little.
I'll
Here you
give
go.
you
Yeah,
a
this card.
like a custom QR code for your card. So I'll give you a cut.
I'm trying to think. They probably are going to do the old. We can't refer any particular person to do a service, right? But like, there's a card over on the floor by the bathroom door.
Yeah, I can give you a custom QR code for you, and then I'll give you a percentage.
Oh, yeah. Generate me a code. I'll go
Yeah.
do a little marketing for you. Fuck on
Yeah.
every electric car. I'll go and drive all the electric shit. Okay, yeah, I'll do some marketing for you. Josh, what do you got?
Oh shit! What do I got? What do I not have? Holy crap! All right, well, check out my shit at renegadebutcher.com. That's where you can find everything. Right? renegadebutcher.com. You can find all my crap. You can find my podcast. I do at least one a week. It's been like 2 or 3 a week lately. I'm really active on Nostr right now. There's a lot going on with that, so that's been kind of a big focus. But selling a lot of seasoning, selling some coffee. This crazy motherfucker up here makes my coffee. It's some really good shit, so you should go buy some. Buy it for me so I get some fucking credit. There you go. No, other than that, I run a podcast with Kyle, pretty much. It seems like because he's
pretty much at this point.
There was actually there's been at least one episode where he was on the show more than I was. So it's my show. So yeah, it happens. But otherwise, no, just lots of meat related type stuff. If you guys got questions for the survival podcast, meat related, toss them over to Jack. I'm need to get some more of those submitted, and I've got 2 or 3 to get recorded and sent up there. So
do you have questions in the stack?
I've got at least one in the stack right now for sure. And I've got
I
run out of questions,
1 or 2.
I try to send them at least 2 a month, but preferably more. And
good.
And if I run out of questions, I can just make one up, just so he's got something to play with.
Yeah,
people ask me a lot of
John Willis. Like, how do you grill a zebra?
A lot of people don't think to ask him. They just come ask me. So I'm like, I'm putting this one on TSP. Other than that, I've got a million things going on.
Right?
Yeah.
They'll just.
Well, he gets kind of pissed because some guys just don't send out shit, and he's like, "Why do these guys not submit stuff?" I'm like, I didn't know until somebody told me that you just want unsolicited content. I can do that.
That is, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I already do that. I do this shit all the time, and people don't ask me.
People want me to shut up. Like,
he's like, can you commit to doing like 2 of those a month? And I'm like, that's all you want? Shit, man, we're good.
Right.
There we go. Anyway, that's
and if
all.
You have to wheedle it down to 2 a month. They'll be great.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, what does he really want?
Right. Kyle, what are you up to? What you cooking on?
So, well, now that I don't have to do Yorkshire research tonight.
By the way, because people who may not have ever been here to the after party before, who the fuck is this dude? Kyle, who the fuck are you? You better tell
sorry, everybody. So you can find all my stuff at Backwoods Butcher 603 on YouTube, Instagram. We run a small farm up in northern New Hampshire, and we have a custom processing facility on the property. So the YouTube channel is doing pretty well. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's crazy. It's only been 2 weeks. It feels like I've been on there forever already. But we've been putting out a lot of content. I've been trying to get at least 2 out a week, or 2 to 3 out. I've just kind of been filming whatever I'm doing, and I'm always doing something. So we just put up a quick video of the concrete getting poured for my new slaughter floor behind the shop. There's going to be a lot more update videos on that. And the podcast, Meet the Critters, every Saturday, 8 Eastern. And basically, we're going to be breaking down 603. Nope, that's not me.
Oh! Typity type. 603?
Yes, 603. I don't have a website yet, so it's only on Instagram.
Erasing.
Sorry.
Hey, if you want a real website for $40 a month, call me.
$40 a month?
Well, all C4 members get a page in my marketplace. If you look, there's one for Lots, for Agris Attorney, there's one for RTA Radio. If you don't want to,
you might want to get him to actually try the coffee before you get.
And you don't really sell shit through your website. You just need people to know about you, have pictures, whatever you want to feed me as a web. I don't know what you would call it, developer. Like literally, I do that as a service for any of my C4 people, so you could even not get coffee.
That's good to know. Yeah, because I have no idea.
FYI, it's an easy entry instead of like, here's $500 to run your first website. Learn some shit. I will
definitely look into that.
Just like I say, when people want to start roasting companies, like, hey, get you like all the way up to like, let's sell coffee.
Right.
What do you think I told them? Don't pay for StreamYard until you know if you want to do this. You can just use shit.
Exactly. Use some people shit.
I appreciate it for sure.
Power.
That's you're fine.
No, don't keep going. My computer's going to crash. Sorry.
And find all the cool shit that he does.
Yeah. What other cool shit are you doing though, other than that, some fence work, Kyle?
Yeah.
Off of the farm crap.
We're probably doing about 6 acres of fence this year, so there's gonna be a bunch of videos of that. There's gonna be a pig slaughter video coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna do some sensitive editing probably on that, not go crazy, but yeah. So it's just a whole bunch.
What kind of fence?
Oh, woven wire. I do all woven wire and electric for all my pigs because I don't trust them.
Oh, pig. Whatsoever. We're talking pig fencing. Okay.
Pig fencing. Yeah.
6
yeah.
acres.
So this year I'm going pretty deep, and we're going to be setting up probably about 6 acres of rotational grazing and really kind of build up the seed bank and everything that's going on with the property.
What's the rotation? What do you got? Pigs? Chickens?
Yeah. So this year is going to be pigs going on at first. And then probably next year, chickens, just financially. I just can't this year. We're just getting everything set up right now. But it'll be first thing in the spring next year. The cows are going on at first. They'll go through it. They'll move on to the main pasture. And by that point, all the piglets are ready to go into the rotation. They'll root everything around, move it over, turn everything. Then the chickens will come through behind them and just spread everything back out. And the entire time, just moving everything around, spreading seed and everything, and kind of bringing that pasture back to what it actually was. Because, I mean, I have people who have lived in my area their whole lives, and they're like, oh, they'd pull 600 bales off your field easy, like every year. And I think we got 183 last year. Like, it just hasn't been taken care of in so long. So now we're trying to go backwards and try and bring it all back. And instead of just pumping a bunch of fertilizer into it and a bunch of just random shed, it's like, I'll be happy continuing to buy hay if I can get more and more hay off my field, like over time, and do like get a first cut. Don't worry about a second cut. Move the animals across it the rest of the year. Let them free feed all year, or for the summer at least. Because again, it's really like 6 months, maybe.
I mean, fuck hay, you're harvesting bacon.
Check out Vortex.
Fuck hay, you're raising bacon. I mean, hay's a side of it.
You know? We got cows too.
You can make bacon out of beef.
I want to try that so bad.
Yeah.
The beef bacon out of the belly.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
Oh.
Check out Vortex Tea Brewers.
Okay.
If you want to make a lot of fertilizer for almost no money, because you're going to use a lot of sunlight, you could do 6 acres. 6 acres is like, you could do it.
Yeah.
Could be done.
He's got cows and pigs. They fertilize without him having to do it.
They fertilize themselves. It's great.
You don't understand. If you use a Vortex Tea Brewer and get mycorrhizal fungi going and then apply that to the field, once you have mycorrhizal growth with grasses, the amount of speed by putting a fungal net into the soil that's appropriate for grass is insane. And you can do it literally for almost no money other than building the device that could be like $5,000 or $500. That's what I'm saying. Then spreading it's not that hard. You know, those little Wandy sprayers, not hard.
Right.
Just
yeah. At the moment, my plan is my neighbor's going to fill his plow truck he uses to plow the state roads that they put salt in the back, and he's going to go to his buddy's house that has a giant horse manure pile that's composted down and literally put it through a salt spreader.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They're feeding their horses. Just know what those horses eat.
Oh, I know.
It's been proven animal. It's
No. We give shit to our show horses that you do not want in your food supply. Okay,
I'm sure.
Gross. It literally
could literally kill grass. To begin with, which is like the worst thing.
Toxic horse. Stay tuned next week when we get back with toxic horse shit. Oh my god. Okay, this is
right now. The title of the next fucking. I was
going to say that was
toxic horse shit.
Toxic horse shit. When I put this up on the podcast,
not only is that horse shit, it is toxic horse shit.
And everyone's going to be so confused because they're going to be like, "Oh, they're actually talking about toxic horse shit." Like
literally,
they're literally.
That wasn't clickbait.
To toxic horse shit instead of the after party. It would still be accurate. That's the whole podcast. We are toxic horse shit. You're welcome, guys.
HorseFarms.com. C4. All right, that's it. Have fun. Hold on. This is going to spin out my computer.